From Silver Spring, Maryland, this is Global Affairs Network. I'm your host, Malik Lenzanzo. Tonight, we have a special guest, an actress, model, comedian, and host. LaKeisha Poole is in the house. She will talk about her career, but also a new podcast called Simplicity. That is coming up right now. Welcome, welcome. Please share this live stream. We have a special guest today. LaKeisha Poole will be here with us in a minute. She's a special woman. She has accomplished a lot. She's in Washington native. Been doing a lot of good stuff, and she will be here to trying to entertain us on her career, but also a new podcast that's doing pretty good all across the world. So I think with her, we'll speak about a lot of issues, including the current issue, if necessary. Uh, we only have 45 minutes to try and to talk about all of this. So we will have her in a minute. She is on her way. She'll be here very shortly. Now, in the meantime, we can just talk a little bit about the civil unrest. And as a matter of fact, Miss Lakeisha is in a house right now. So we're not. She's a superstar. We're not gonna let her wait. I was just about to speak a little bit about politics, but you here to speak about your career. I'm gonna bring her to the show. Welcome,
Well, hello
Chapo.
there.
Listen. I'm so proud of you, and we are happy to have you. You know how hard it is to get to have you on the show. So the excitement is
Let
on
me
the
tell you,
ropes.
I'm so excited to be here, and hello to all your listeners and viewers. I'm excited. So thank you
Yeah,
very much for having me. Yeah.
you're welcome. You're welcome. You listen. Everybody's watching. I have a friend of mine from the Middle East. I think it's Doha, uh, Qatar. Uh,
Hello.
yeah, she sent me a message and she told me I'll be watching. So you know,
That's
it's
great. So I'm gonna tell
yes,
I'm
a
gonna
lot.
tell her hello, friend, and our all friends. We all family today. So hello to
Absolutely.
everyone. Yeah,
You
I'm
know,
excited.
it's a lot of young women that usually look up to women like yourself.
Mhm.
S- go get it. You go and get whatever you want to get. So you started as a young actress in
Mhm.
'85. I was kind of impressed. I don't know if you can take us back to that time. I know you were younger. You
Mhm.
probably did a lot, but how did that happen? You were born in DC, by the way.
Yes, absolutely. So, born and raised in Washington D.C. When you were born in Washington D.C., it's a great. Anywhere you're born is great, right? But in Washington D.C., when you go up in the inner city gives you a lot of opportunities that are free for the community. That's why I love giving back. And
Yeah.
I mean, we did a lot of free stuff as far as growing our own gardens in the community. A lot of things that was presented to young people as a young person as myself that was very limited to a lot of opportunities that maybe someone else had. And so in school we did a lot of plays, a lot of things we did as far as like I said, being on WDCA TV. They gave us the opportunity with Howard Hughes, which was on an educational program show called Wow.
Mm,
And we come down the sliding board. I don't know if you remember, I'm taking it all the way back, like Romper Room.
listen, it's your
And
time to shine. Tell us everything. We want to know
yeah,
everything.
so all of those shows back in the day, Captain Kangaroo and all of
Yeah.
them, really telling my age. But those are some shows that were presented to us as young people in the inner city. And at that time, I'm gonna tell you seriously, at that time in 1980, Jimmy Carter was still our president, and then right after that, Ronald Reagan came. And I had an
Absolutely.
opportunity to meet Nancy Reagan, come and read at our
Wow.
schools. Like I said, in the inner city, we're given a great opportunity to see some wonderful people and meet some historians. Mayor Marion Barry
Right.
was right
Oh,
here in our community all
Mayor
the
for
time.
life. Wow. That's
Yes, and I
amazing.
mean, he would even just come and just hug us and talk to us right there in Southeast
Yeah.
DC. So,
But do you think this kind of opportunity is still available, like when we were growing up?
those opportunities, they are, yeah, they are, because I'm an educator too, so I work with young children, and those opportunities are still there for the inner city. It really is. You just don't see as many people that are in politics really, for what I could be wrong, just really giving back to the community and being involved. And when I talk about that, like Mayor Marion Barry, when I tell you I have hugged this
That's me.
man as a 10-year-old, walking our streets and really just there for the youth and providing job opportunities for the youth. So Mayor Marion Barry really was there for us in Washington, D.C. Absolutely.
He
Absolutely.
was
Yeah.
he was a people person. Now
He really was. He really
it,
was.
we, we we barely have that kind of politician nowadays. It was just
True.
people. Remember, I didn't have the chance to talk to or speak with him personally, but you can tell he was there for the
It
people.
was for the people, yeah. And it's, a lot of times we get away from that. People, as human beings, we make certain decisions that may not be. We always are ready to point out all the negativity and something that has happened in someone's life, but we also have to look at the opportunities that Mary Marion Barry had created for a lot of people, and also even for the mayor that's there now. He opened up a lot of doors for a lot of people and took a lot of criticism and a lot of things that some of us probably couldn't even stand to deal with over, a day or so. So I salute him. I salute, like, Elijah Cummings, John Lewis, those people that really, really made a
Listen,
change and a difference in our
it
world.
was this that generation of leaders. We will miss them a lot. As a matter of fact, Elijah Comics, Doctor, what's her name again? His wife, the widow, Elijah
Yeah.
Comics. That lives
Mm-hmm.
in Baltimore. I wish I can have her on the show though. She has a book that came out. I wish I can have her on the show to speak about that book. So Elijah Comics was just a man. Unfortunately,
That's right.
with this current president, there was a lot of controversy going on, but yeah,
A lot of, yeah,
yeah,
absolutely, a lot of controversy, a lot of, I know they dealt with a lot of racism is today, but can you imagine that's always on the forefront and
yeah,
always in your face all the time. And
all the time.
so those are some things that they just, held your hand up, held your head up
Yeah,
just to see another day. And those are the
and
people that, there's a few that I've named. It's so many great that really have made a change and made a difference by just standing grounded and standing still and just
yeah,
knowing that you have the power to change your
right.
circumstances in your community. So I salute them. Absolutely.
Yeah, Baltimore is a lot of good. I mean, powerful woman. And I was thinking, Elijah Cummings' wife is Dr. Rocklemore Cummings. She has a book, and I'm gonna extend this invitation to her because we're both Democrats, and I wish she can come on the show and talk and tell us. You
Absolutely.
know,
Yes.
the late Congressman Elijah Cummings. He used to have a famous uh, quote better than this. You
Hmm.
know, so and for a while I was using in my own stuff, public speaking and all kind of stuff. So yeah, I'm gonna try to keep you away from politics
I
because
know, right? Because I love to talk. But yeah, but back to WDCA. WDCA TV is where I started there. And
right,
as a 5-year-old, right? 1980, I was 5 years old. And I really was excited throughout elementary school, high school. I was always in the student government association or always performing. And so I think it just stuck with me, right? So I'm a teacher. I always love working with children, but I also love performing too. So
wow,
it was a toss up. So 2016, I decided to get back in this. I studied through Talent Inc. through
Mm.
acting. I went back through. I had about 2 agents at that time in 2016, and then I decided to. I did a film called Love Makes the World Go Round, and I've been performing in theater ever since. From since 2016 till of course now 2020. So I've had some really great opportunities and blessings that have come my way, and have met so many wonderful people. And then in 2018, I stepped into the world of stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
And outside
We
with that,
we
I love to laugh.
we
So
definitely will get into that as well.
yes.
The, the first question when I ask you to why you, because now kind of understand a little bit why you will pick. Because my first job in DC was as a teacher. I taught in DC, like, and,
Oh, okay.
yeah, I didn't know you were a teacher yourself. I taught you in
Yeah.
DC like for 2 years though. Uh,
Nice.
so there's a lot of talented youngsters in DC that
Yes.
it's like, and I was like, okay, so why you? And then come to find out you were already into that. And when anybody look at your career, it's just a continuation. Yeah, and that instinct of communication. You always want to communicate. And
Right. That's right.
talk also about your podcast, but I'll let you finish on that inspiration. So you didn't really actually put yourself out there. Somebody had to fire you or to bring you to that show. How did that happen? The casting and all kind of stuff. You
Yeah,
can.
you know what, casting. So I always tell everybody that is interested in anything that they want to do to study it, and put
Mm,
yourself around people of what you have that interest for. So for me, it was acting. I always loved acting. I always love being a character because you can always present a story in a sense to help someone else's life, or just to bring a character to life, so so that's why I love theater, and I will continue to do that as I do now.
hmm.
But how I got into comedy, oh my goodness, I love to laugh. I love to see other people happy.
Yeah.
And I love comedy shows. So I will go to a lot of comedy shows, just sit in the back and just taking notes. And I'm around a
Yeah.
lot of comedians that I really adore and really look up to. And one day I just said, I'm going to do this. And they said, no, you're not. And I said, yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to try it. I'm going to do it. And I've been out there just learning from the greats, learning from people that's right here in Baltimore, some wonderful people. They give me a lot of great pointers, a lot of
What is your best comedian? What's your the
my favorite.
yeah, your favorite? Somebody
Oh, I'm about
that
to take it
inspired
way
from.
back. So Mom's Mabley, um, she was around years ago. She was a great inspiration to me. I love Richard Pryor. I like
Mm,
Richard Pryor because he's very creative.
yeah.
And a lot of times with comedians, you you find healing through laughter,
Yeah.
right? So, they would say, well, people that do comedy, they actually deal with a little bit more, maybe depression and things like that than anything.
Mm.
But laughter is what really heals.
Yeah. I
Laughter
mean,
heals all of us. It keeps all of us young. It keeps all of us fresh and excited about life, even on our darkest days. I've had dark
mm,
days, in my life. I've had dark days this year in 2020,
and
but I
20,
always find humor in every situation.
well, 2020 is definitely not a good year for us. It's a
It's
lot going
not,
on.
yeah, it's
Okay,
not. So,
I'm a politician, so I always have that tendency. Even if we talk about business, all the stuff, it's always dragging me back into
yeah,
politics. But 2020 is definitely the year that we will never forget in
we
terms of
will never forget it. We will
this
never forget
tragedy
it.
all the time.
Yes, we
And
will never forget it.
all
Yeah.
our best are just going on. People dying for no reason, get killed for no
No
reason.
reason.
It's
And
what's going on with this 2020.
yeah, what was difficult for me was I started my podcast, since we talking about Simplicity Podcast
Mhm.
tonight. I started it in January of 2020. And the podcast I really wanted to do 2 years ago. It's on Spotify. It's heard in the United States, 90%, Ireland, Germany, Sweden, and Morocco, right? And I just picked up Poland. My story that I started this year in January was really about self-help and healing. So it's, when I say my story through heartache, through pain, through loss, through grief. Um, I wanted to share my story to help heal other women. 90% of, about 80% of my listeners are women, and
Mm.
they are around my age, their 20s to through, I'm 45, so I don't have a problem with telling my age. But I I really definitely believe that we all have a story that is about healing someone else. And it's not about embarrassing anybody or
Right.
feeling ashamed, but it's how we learn, and about how we can heal and help one another. So going back to 2020 January, I said I'm going to do my podcast,
Yeah.
and anybody that listens to my preview of what my podcast is about, it was talking about me as a mother of four.
Hmm.
My oldest is 25. How I lost two children to death years ago. Before I had them, I thought I couldn't have children, and
Right.
I ended up having four. And I'm a teacher, in entertainment. I have not let anything in the world stop me. And lost a best friend to suicide a few years ago. She was in her 40s. My significant other passed away 3 years ago of a brain aneurysm. So I went through a lot of grieving.
It
And
is
so
impressive. Yeah, it is
yeah,
impressive. You were a forceful good man, knowing what you do as a your own professional, as being a teacher, and also taking care of your kids, and then still go on the stage and make people laugh.
it makes me laugh.
That's it. That's incredible.
When I see
That's
people
incredible.
laugh, even when I perform, I do dinner theaters through Ovation Theater Dinner. So shout out to them. And I'll be back on stage with them and performing in November. And so when I see people that I perform in front of and they are not at their best health, especially when I do it with Ovation Theater,
Mhm.
when you can bring a smile to someone's face when people are
Yeah.
feeling their best, that's awesome. And actually, when I bring that up, it actually makes me feel
You
good.
yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, it does
It's,
something for me. So that's why I do it. Yeah.
no, but part of I think for you, what one of the things that I know that separates you from a lot of people is your capacity to just going forward. You're a daredevil. You dare to go and try new stuff. I don't know if it's this kind of attitude was influenced by your early role, the role that you play as an actress since your younger age, or this is just a part of you. It looks like you keep going. I don't know what's going to be next after the podcast, but tell us about a little bit about the pack. How that idea come about, knowing that you're already extremely
Yeah,
busy.
the podcast, oh my goodness. So I've had one mayoral candidate. She was running right here in Baltimore, Miss Zulika Bazemore. Shout out to her. Um, and she was great. She was on one of my episodes, and I love the sis too because she's right out of Washington D.C. But she definitely was looking on to bringing some change right here in Baltimore, and so she's excellent. I've A lot of my shows I've talked about insurance,
Yeah,
um, having insurance for ourselves, and really bringing thinking about wealth and thinking about our next generation, leaving our children, something, going forward in life. I've had so much stuff on there. My journey about grief, loss, and healing. I talked about so much stuff on there about just discretion,
yeah,
about changing the narrative. One of my episodes is about changing the narrative. Changing the narrative is changing the way that we think.
yeah,
The way that we think changes everything around us. The people that are around us that we're associated with. Changing the narrative, it means changing your environment, changing the way that you think and who you are as an individual. And so, in spite of my losses, in spite of my pain, in spite of whatever, life goes on,
yeah,
but through our difficulties, through our challenges that we face and our obstacles, you have to persevere through it all. And you also have to be able to give back. So, like what you're doing tonight and what you do all the time that I see you do, brother, is great. and you are educating the world. You're inspiring others, and that's what our life is about. It's about leaving a legacy.
Yeah,
What kind of
all of us
stories?
together. Yeah, all of
Yeah,
us together. Yeah,
yeah. What do
we
you want
we
somebody to say? If I know we all know, we always talk about Martin Luther King, but when we talk about some of the greats that names that we don't hear all the time, and then when you
right.
hear about that, you're like, man, you know what? That's they sacrificed their lives to make a change in the world,
Yeah,
and a lot of times we get away from that as human beings. I don't want to go by race or anything, but as human beings, we get
yeah,
distracted by certain things that are around us instead of thinking about creating a legacy. Your name is everything.
yeah.
My name is
Absolutely.
everything. I am my
Listen,
brand. You are your brand.
yeah. Listen, even talking about even I think even the racism is a distraction for humankind because we already know there's no such a thing as a race. Okay, there's no
Yes.
such thing. We all human being. We all belong to the human race. We will come back with more of that because I know there's a lot of young lady that just trying to know how this lady is handling all of this. Model,
Okay.
actress, comedian, host. So we're gonna take a quick break, come back, and you can continue to inspire our young lady across the globe. I know they're
Amen.
watching right now from Europe
Absolutely.
to the Middle East. All
Awesome.
right.
I'm excited.
Yeah. Welcome back. We are with the one and only LaKeisha Poole, the lady
Hey,
that
everybody.
it's impressive to have her. If you know who she is extremely busy. I have to technically beg her. Hey, listen, my sister, I've been chasing you for so long. Let please come on and because you never know who you're gonna inspire.
That's
So
true. Right. Yes.
positive stories like yours. There's somebody through some stuff that you went through, and but you never sit back and wait. Just keep going forward.
Right. I'm gonna
You
tell
know,
you,
that,
you
yeah.
you
Go ahead, my
definitely ain't
sister.
sitting
Go
back
ahead.
and waiting. I love your grind. I do, because you got me. Because usually I don't do anything live, but you got me. You did. So
Listen,
shout out
it
to
was
you.
not easy. It was not easy to
It
convince.
wasn't. It wasn't, but I definitely appreciate you, and I'm excited to be here. And I just want to say hello to everybody. Make sure you keep
Uh,
supporting this wonderful person right here.
they also can, some people can also ask their question live.
Okay,
With us 45 minutes, if people will participate, we can go maybe 5 more minutes. Uh,
absolutely.
so yes, this is gonna be a back and forth because you know why your resume is so extensive. It's hard to just go chronologically. So we can go back and forth into these questions as far as their stand up. You know, not everybody have the gut to stand up in front of people and tell jokes because one of the most complex thing is comedians or one of the because for you to make somebody laugh, you have to laugh at your own jokes. If you're not convinced, you're not gonna go and tell people those this story. So tell me, was there some kind of a mentor that pushed you on the stage? Because you're not really when somebody know you on a personal level, you know you're a little bit shy too. So I don't understand how you're able to do
Right.
this,
You know what? You are absolutely right. A lot of people that's close to me, they're like, LaKeisha, I thought you was always quiet. I didn't think you would do XYZ. So I will tell you, I have been around for years around a lot of comedians that I just love and admire right here in Baltimore. And I've had an opportunity to perform with them at oh my gosh, Sully's Comedy Cellar. And when I tell
The-
you I've been around some
you
great
see that
comedians.
you see that viewer that is talking about, hey, her story is inspiring. She's a strong woman.
Oh,
Who
hi,
you
is that Vita? Hi, Vita.
yeah,
This how she's so gorgeous. So look,
yeah,
I was around some great people, and I kept saying I'm going to do this. I love what they're doing because they all inspire me, and it's not even one person. It's like all of them. I have shared the stage with, even to this day, some of the greats of the greats, and not just in Baltimore, but I mean Sylvia Trey Morrison. I mean, she's been around a long time. This sister right here is awesome. I can go on and name so many people. Hi, Vita. And so, um, but one thing that when I started out saying, "Oh, I'm going to try this. I'm going to write." And after a while, I felt like when I was writing and doing some comedy, I said, "Oh, I'm corny." So it's like, let me just be real, be natural. And so, what one thing you learn in acting when you take some training and stuff like that with acting, you learn about improv.
yeah,
So as improv and you keep going, you don't stop. So that's one thing I love about theater. If you're on stage and you know your lines, you keep going. Nobody knows you've
yeah.
messed up. Now
Yes,
with
absolutely.
film, yes, I always tell
Yeah,
everybody with film, you gotta stop, you gotta do a retake, stop and retake. But what you do is you keep going. And that's how I look at life.
yeah,
Okay, this happened here. You keep going. You learn how to be a person that can adapt to change, learn how
mhm,
to be a forgiving person, and
right.
you keep moving on. But for me,
Yeah,
comedy, everybody inspired me that I've been around in my life, whether it's my mom, my children, whomever. I'm always finding humor in everything that happens around me in my life. So that's been a great inspiration for me. It's everybody that I've had the opportunity of meeting and having in my life. Yeah.
part of the question, I guess you probably already answered, um, that question is to know if you have a chance to collaborate with others outside Baltimore. Any uh, collaboration in projects, or you already had a chance to be on tour with somebody outside the DMV area?
Outside the DMV area, probably I've had the opportunity to go to different shows and different venues. So whether it's like a well-known celebrity name like Martin Lawrence or something like that. I went to high school with Martin Lawrence. I went to high school with a lot of the guy that started Google. He graduated in 1989.
Yeah.
Went to high school with him.
Mm.
So outside of traveling outside of this area, I have not done that with comedy. I have traveled to do a film. I have traveled to do theater. But as
Mhm.
far as comedy with a well-known celebrity, not as of yet, because technically, like my youngest is 13. My older children are in their teens and 20s. And so I always remember to be mom first
Yeah.
and to allow my dedication to be towards my family and my children. And once he turned 18, hey, that's something different. So
But
I always try to stay grounded. I've been staying local. At some point, if push come to shove and that happens, I'll definitely do it. But I don't want to
absolutely.
kind of neglect my family right now too.
Yeah. It's still, for me, it's like some comedians, they will just dedicate the entire life on
They
comedy.
do, yeah. And that's a
Comedy,
hard.
and you are educator at the same
Yeah,
time.
absolutely. That's
Yeah.
my hats off to. I salute those that travel the world, and they don't really get to spend that much time with their kids because they're trying to make a name for themselves and also to bring in that income. I
Mhm.
get it. I get it that, oh my gosh, if I step out, yes, that'll bring more money towards my family. But at the same time, I never wanted my children to feel like I wasn't there. I
Yeah.
wasn't that mom that could show up to the PTAs and we cook together and things like that. I never wanted that to take center stage of my life. Also, too, when I got into the entertainment, business, my first prayer was, I said, God, I want you to use me for your work and your glory.
Mm,
I never wanted to be this person that my life was invaded, my privacy was invaded out of trying to be something for the world. I actually wanted
mhm,
my life to be about what God wanted. I said, God, use
mm.
me. And so that's where I've been going with it. Hopefully with Simplicity Podcast, that'll
Right.
continue to grow. I have not moved that over to video or anything like that. Everything is recorded. It's on
Mm.
Spotify. It's on Stitcher. It's on Apple. I'm on 7 different platforms it's playing on. So maybe I'll go on the radio. Maybe some point it'll go there. Yeah. But that's really my
Absolutely.
passion right now.
You have a Vita coming back with a question.
Hey
She
Vita. So
want to know.
how did I get
Yeah.
over my shyness? Oh, Vita, you know what? How I got over my shyness was just doing it, just jumping out there. I used to be so shy and so afraid of everything. And one thing about shyness is we always worry about what other people think, right? Their
Right.
thoughts is what I'm trying to say. But when you get out there and you don't care about what other people think, and you're being that change maker, you're being that person that is making a difference. And everybody is not going to agree with what you're doing. Everybody isn't going to like the way you put your lipstick on or your lip gloss or whatever. So you jump out there and you be the difference. You make the difference. But that's how I got over my shyness, was just jump out there and then do it. Always do something that the things that make you feel uncomfortable,
Yeah.
whatever that makes you feel uncomfortable, you step out and you be the opposite of that. I'm uncomfortable in this, but I'm gonna do it.
You know what? That's exactly what I usually do.
Yeah.
I hate to be scared of something.
Yes.
Something like, okay, can I do it? Being here, and people. I was talking to my brother back to a younger brother back to Africa. I said, you know what?
Mhm.
Most people don't know me as I have some shyness in me, and they say,
Mhm.
no. I mean, knowing you have somebody with. I said, no. It is because of the fact that I hate to be shy that I usually
Yeah.
if I don't want to be on, I'm not going. I just go and do it because I don't like to be pushed against the wall because of
Right.
being
And
scared or being so.
yeah,
Yeah,
that word you said right there, fear and scared. That always is that key factor that is a part of us as human beings. It's a part
yeah,
of our nature. It's a part of our feelings, our senses, and all of that. And so being shy and having that feeling of fear and being scared, that's normal. That's not uncommon. And so I embrace that when I feel that way. I embrace when I, kind of sometimes we doubt ourselves about certain things. So when you feel that way, you change the way that you kind of approach certain things. Well, I'm doubting this about me today. I'm doubting this about how I feel about my life. But
hmm
then I actually, what helps me too, Vita, is I have journals. So I have like a journal right behind me that says let me grab it. I grab it, guys. So okay.
take your
So I,
time.
I keep stuff like this.
Yeah, wow.
It says think big, believe big, and you will have big results. And it's true. I keep things like this. So I'll have like a journal. I read like a women's daily journal that I have with me in my purse and I carry. Read certain things like every morning I may have a read an affirmation or I may listen to something that's positive. Those are the types of things that really help me to overcome just staying positive each and every day. So I would say get a journal. Write
Yeah,
down your
yeah,
thoughts, write down your ideas, some things that you want to do, because anything is possible. And don't let anybody come in your space and your circle and tell you anything different, because we have all been created with a purpose. And that
yeah,
purpose is to change the world. And so we all have it in us. It's just really being around the right people and having the right circle around you and bringing that greatness out of you, because you're all great. Everybody's great. Everybody's great.
yeah,
So, yeah.
absolutely. But you know what? What you just said, um, being around good people, because some good people will come, make you come out. Your greatness will be a impact or even you be inspired to come out with what God give God you're giving gift that that's what you're supposed to bring to the world. And most of the time, we live and go to the grave without exposing those gifts and knowledge and inspiration to others. And some people would tell you, oh, you're doing too much. I don't know if you ever heard something like that. You're doing too much. Why you don't stay in stay in your land? You're a teacher, stay there forever and wait,
Yes.
retire. But you're like, no, I'm
Right.
I can do whatever. And
Right.
the attitude I think young
Exactly. That's why
don't
I
have that
always,
yet.
you are so right. That's why I always say, even it's the same thing too. If I perform at a show, I don't stay after hang out with everybody. It's like I actually leave. Um, the reason for that is that you always have to stay mentally healthy, right? And you also have to think about everything with me is how am I learning, how am I growing, and it's about business.
Hmm.
If it's not about business, it's not about anything that I can grow and become great at or better at, I don't even entertain it. I don't entertain it. And so that's pretty much why I created Simplicity Podcast. It's really about our journey. We all have a mission in this journey. Our lives are really a journey. Our lifestyle should be a part of our journey.
No question about that.
It's a
No.
journey. And so, what you were just saying was great because you know how some people say, oh, don't bring me out of my character. Don't bring me
Yeah.
out of whatever. You're not gonna like who you see. That's so you got to flip the opposite of what if you do bring me out
Yeah.
of positivity? What if you do bring me out of show me who my greatness is or my strengths are and things like that? Then what if people gonna always have something to say? People gonna always be the doubters. They want you to stay in your lane. You know what their lane is? Their lane.
Yes.
So the will of God, what God has for us, each one of us, that's the lane. It's not about
Yeah.
nobody else. So what I try not to do, because I can easily get distracted. I'm a single
Yeah.
sister right now. So we get distracted. When you single, you like, oh my goodness, I feel like I'm missing this. And you do. So at the same time, you gotta stay focused because when that
Yeah.
right person is to come along, it's gonna happen.
Right.
When that right
Well,
opportunity is coming
listen to
along.
all those men of God out there. Now, they know
Whatever.
now. There's no more excuses. You already know. She said it.
It's hard,
You know?
but you know what? It's hard too because most people, when you're in this business or you're about something, it's hard for people to understand when you can't hang out tonight or if you
Yeah.
can't do whatever because
Right.
you goal oriented. And that doesn't mean that I don't make time for. I make time for what I want to make time for,
Mm.
but really getting people that are around you that are on that same thinking as you,
Yeah.
that takes a little bit of time because it's cool. Like at 45, okay, now I'm thinking about retirement still and how I'm going to keep allowing God to use me in my life.
Yeah.
Not, oh my gosh, we got Google and Google eyes with each other every day. That's not going to pay
Mhm.
my bills or my mortgage. So,
Right.
so it's really about just staying focused and not getting distracted and allowing your gifts and your talents to be used for a greater purpose.
Absolutely. The Vida have a lot. She's very interesting at
Oh
what.
yes, I will. I'll put the podcast link up as
Okay.
well. It's
Okay.
Simplicity Podcast, but it is you can Google it on Google, on Spotify, on oh my goodness, Apple. But I definitely will put that up. Yes, sister. Thank you too. I appreciate her.
Yeah, she's
Go
good.
Vida, go Vida.
We're gonna take another. I'm gonna let you breathe a little bit because you've been talking. Like we're gonna take a
Oh, I
quick
talk
break.
you to death.
Listen, we love it. We love it. We love it. So we will bring you back again in a few.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you guys for participating. You are the bomb. Thank you, Vida. Thank you, everybody across the continents. Stay with us. Yeah, okay. We're back with LaKeisha Poole.
Hey guys.
Yes, absolutely. Listen, I think it's always good to have somebody like you come on the show because, like I told you, you never know you're gonna inspire. There's a lot of
Amen.
people watching, and I was surprised when I saw that message from. It was actually on LinkedIn. I posted this, show coming up show on LinkedIn. Somebody say, "Hey, listen, I'll be watching from the Middle East." I'm saying, "Okay, you know what? Who knows who's watching? You know,
Hey,
kids
that's right.
or in situation watching people like Vida or watching, really looking for some answers, some information. So it is always a blessing to have
It
somebody,
is.
you know, or
Absolutely.
just to remind them you don't bless not only with education, with your smile and with your humor. That's that's a lot, and you don't keep it for yourself. You just give it to the world. That
Yeah.
thing. Anything about like your next move? Do you already?
Okay. So absolutely. This is what I have coming up. So on October 13th, I'll be on a virtual hosting and probably doing a little
Mhm.
bit of comedy too. So this is for dyslexia .org.
Oh,
So supporting an event that's for
good cause.
dyslexia. So I'll
That's
post
good.
that too. Then I
That's
have
good.
another charity event that's on October 18th. I'll be doing stand-up comedy at Club
Mm.
Expectations right here in Baltimore. Um, After that, I'll do Ovation Theater. I'll be back on stage and performing with Joey and Gina's Italian Wedding. And then I have another comedy show coming up in December. So I have a lot that's going on, especially now that they allowing a little bit more restrictions. But everybody keep wearing your mask, keep washing your hands, doing whatever we can do to keep ourselves and our families safe and stay prayed up. Absolutely. So those are some things that I have coming up, but I'll post everything on the link here on the site as soon as we're done. The podcast, definitely
Yeah.
I'll do that link. But dyslexia organization is what I'll be hosting and doing some comedy on in a couple of weeks.
Wow.
Hmm.
That is awesome. I mean,
Yeah,
that's a good cause though. We all have to be involved and participating and donate. That is a selfless move that you know that's good. I wish since you're gonna leave your information, I'm gonna share that as well on my platform to make sure that people also come and see your shows and listen to your podcast.
absolutely. Yeah, well,
A
definitely
lot
they
of
can't make it because I know like a lot of my listeners, like I said, in Sweden,
yeah.
some people in other countries they don't even speak English, and for me to go on and be able to see the analytics that listeners that are listening on Simplicity Podcast, it has just been like overwhelming because sometimes it's hard to get people to support you right here where you are on your own programs. But when you see people all over the world, like what you're doing, you have created a platform for others outside of the people that know you here.
Hmm.
You are creating a platform for others to know who I am or to know whomever you have on your show and whatever that you speak about. And so I never really kind of worry about the people that's right here supporting because God will create that platform where others in the world will be blessed by what you're doing. So I love the fact that my listeners are listening to Simplicity Podcast all over the world. That's awesome. We all have a mission in life, and our mission is to follow the journey, stay focused, don't get distracted, and know that everything that you do in life has a purpose, it has meaning, and do everything with purpose. Do everything with purpose. Everything.
Absolutely. Purpose. You remind me. I know we the show is designed for 45 minutes, so it's already 44. But I just wanted to add, when stuff, when there's some good information, times does fly. You don't see it going. The brother, uh, the black. So he was talking about something like that about purpose because we usually stick into the jobs, the stuff that we do without understanding what's your purpose in life. And I think I agree with him. Purpose is more important than everything else because you go to a job 8 to 4 for 4 p.m. You bring money, you buy this, you get, but in the end, there's always a question of why you are on this earth, why you're here, and if you can use your platform, your knowledge, your humor to heal or to inspire other people, I think it's much greater in terms of fulfillment than everything else. So
Absolutely.
it is. I just want to remind you, this platform stay open to you. We will want to have you back here again. Whenever you have a show, yeah, and you want to promote your show, please come back and let us know because now that you are already create another, you're now connected to a new family, a new family.
Oh,
Uh,
that's exciting.
so you have to come back when you have something to share to the world, so they know exactly and they follow you. Watching again,
Absolutely.
leave some information with us in terms of our podcast. Come watch if you're in DMV area. Go and watch your comedy uh,
Mm, yeah,
scenes and all kind of stuff. And so we just hope you're gonna come back and let us know. Keep us in the loop. Keep up.
absolutely. I'm keeping my eye on you, keep my eye on everybody, and
Absolutely, that is good.
many blessings to everybody that's watching. And don't give up. Don't feel like what we're seeing in the world is the end. Don't give up.
Yeah.
Don't give up, guys, and stay focused. Like I said, if you got to get a journal and write some things down, be encouraged. Not discouraged, but be encouraged. And thank you for having me again, too. Hi, everybody.
Okay. Thank you so much. That is it. It's 2046. I don't know how I was able to do this. I was thinking, listen, if you bring that woman in here, and you're not able to get as much as information as you get in 45 minutes, then you don't deserve to be here. But I think we did it. We did it.
Oh, I had a great
Uh,
time, and I'm sure
yeah.
everybody is going to
If
definitely love
there's
it.
something else you want to add to this, feel
Oh my
free.
goodness. You know what? I just want to thank you for having me. I actually do not do anything live. I did this for you.
Yeah. Thank you so
I don't
much.
even
We
go
appreciate
live
that.
on social media platform, and I think I come from that generation that just didn't do it.
Yeah.
We was always kind of behind the camera, which is really weird because I'm always on stage, you know.
Yeah.
So I just want to thank you for the platform. Thank you for keep reaching out to me because I
Yeah.
know I was kind of like, wait a minute, I can't, you know. But I thank you for your persistence and also doing what you're doing in the world. So may God bless everything that you touch and everybody that you come in contact with, that there's growth and there's opportunity. And I just speak life into you, brother, and I speak life into everybody that's watching this tonight, and be encouraged. Absolutely. Thank you.
Amen. Amen to that.
Woohoo!
Yeah, we're looking forward to speak with you again. That was a great show. Thank you
Yes, it was.
for your inspiration and
Thank
all.
you too.
Uh, so
All right.
that we
All right,
salute
see
you.
you.
Oh, okay. Bye bye. All right, so that concludes our show for today. Please make sure that you stay connected. From time to time, we will have Miss LaKeisha Poole that will come back to give us information about our shows. She's gonna leave information about how to get in contact. I mean, if you want to listen to Simplicity, it's a great show, great podcast that you have to listen. She is a powerful person. It's a forceful, good. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, if you want to participate to help this show to keep going and give our people a platform, a place where they can come and express themselves, because we cannot continue to depend on the mainstream media to make our words out. So we will depend on platform like this. So below, uh, make a contribution to dollar sign Malik Linzanzo. This is our cash app information. Okay, so thank you again for listening, and we're looking forward to speak with you another time. Okay,